Hey guys, JamesMCD's Reviews here. Welcome to another episode of Bottom of the Bucket, the show where I take a look at the lowest rated, most hated movies and specials to determine whether or not they're entertaining, awful, or misunderstood. And today, in honor of the reboot movie coming out, I'm going to be taking a look at Masters of the Universe, released in 1987, directed by Gary Goddard. This movie comes to us from Canon Films and is based on the beloved toy commercial, kids cartoon, He-Man. Now, like most things made before 2000, He-Man was not a part of my childhood. I haven't seen the show, I get the general concept, and I know it's been rebooted a couple times recently. Apparently She-Ra is supposed to be really good. But for the most part, I know jack shit about this franchise. But honestly, I don't think that's gonna matter much when talking about this movie. This is a He-Man movie in the loosest possible sense. A majority of the story takes place in the real world in nondescript American town, and focuses on a teenage girl, played by Courtney Cox, who is dealing with the guilt of losing her parents and is planning on moving away. But then her and her boyfriend discover this mystical key that holds a great deal of power, and they become targets for Skeletor and his army. So He-Man and his friends make their way to the real world, they come across Courtney and her boyfriend, and they have to protect them and the key so that Skeletor can't harness its power to take over the world. This is basically the format for every live-action adaptation of a popular kids show, the portal to the real world. Because God forbid setting this sci-fi fantasy movie in a mythical land that we probably couldn't afford. The reboot movie looks like it's doing this too, which is kinda lame, but it doesn't seem to be the focus of the movie. The trailers for that look like most of it will be set in Eternia, with maybe the first third being set on Earth. Whereas here, it's the complete opposite. But like I said, I'm not really that familiar with He-Man, so the fact that the movie doesn't stick directly to the source material wouldn't matter that much if the rest of the movie was strong enough and held up on its own. And you all know where I'm going with this. This movie is so boring. There are some elements that cross over into so bad it's good, like Superman 4, but a majority of it was a total slog. I really didn't give a shit about the ticking clock on Skeletor's plan because the movie doesn't really give you enough time to get attached to anything. I didn't really give a shit about Courtney and her issues because she's just kind of a boring, stereotypical angsty teen character. Also, why does her dead dad look like Tucker Carlson? That was weird. I didn't really care about her relationship because they didn't seem like they knew how to portray it. At the start, she says she wants to break up with her man because things have changed between them. But when they're together, it doesn't seem like there's any tension save for a few awkward interactions. Then, when they get thrust into this He-Man bullshit, they only briefly do the whole confused human thing before completely agreeing to help save the world. It was just really clunky and stupidly written. Every time it cut to that fucking cop, I wanted it to cut away immediately. He just seemed like an extra obstacle, and I just didn't care. To the point where, at the end, when he decides to stay in Eternia with this woman, I was like, did I miss something? The performances are fairly mixed, to be very generous. Dolph Lundgren plays He-Man in this movie because I guess someone saw Rocky IV and was like, let's put that guy in a blonde wig and kink wear. That'll go well. I don't know what kind of direction Dolph was given, but whenever he talks, his delivery is so awkward, not helped by the fact that he can't keep a consistent accent. And when he's not talking, he just looks kind of bored and out of place. On the opposite end of the coin, we have Skeletor, played by Frank Langella, who, God bless him, is truly giving it his all in this. Is it the nasally cartoon villain from the show? No, but it's a type of cartoon villain that oddly works for this movie. He works with not only the material, but that makeup, and delivers the closest thing to giving a shit in this entire movie. The rest of the cast are fine. They all do exactly what's asked of them, and they are completely average. The VFX are about what you'd expect from a movie like this. I mean, it is canon, so I'm almost surprised that they don't look worse. It's a lot of flashing lights, fake-looking lasers, the puppet Gwildor barely opens his mouth half of the time. Again, it doesn't look as bad as Superman 4, which is a fairly low bar, but it still looks pretty cheap. And again, I can't emphasize enough how boring this movie was. The opening sequence on Eternia is at least interesting, but as soon as it cuts to the real world, I was just clocked out. The story wasn't engaging, there were things about it that didn't make any sense, the ending felt like it went on for so long. It's a pretty bad movie. As far as entertaining, awful, or misunderstood, while I can't say that this is completely, unequivocally awful, I don't really see a whole lot of entertainment value that can be got out of this. Maybe some of the performances, maybe some of the cheap effects, but it's not enough to carry you through how boring this movie is. Again, this is coming from someone who isn't a fan of the show, so I can't imagine what people who are fans think of this movie. But yeah, probably just leave this movie alone. Hopefully the new one's better. It already looks more interesting. But yeah, going to my ranking, I'd have to give the 87 Masters of the Universe a 2 out of 5. And that does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments, did you see the original Masters of the Universe movie? What do you think about it? Did you grow up with the show? What do you think of that? And are you looking forward to the new movie? Let me know all that stuff down below. I've got more videos coming real soon, but until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Hi, so this is post-production James coming to clear something up real quick. The teenage girl's name in the movie is Julie, not Courtney. I just instinctively referred to her as Courtney because that is the actress's name, not realizing that that was not the character's name. But let's be honest, you didn't notice either, did you?